Hey everyone, welcome back to Stealth Stoicism. Have you ever wondered what makes someone suddenly realize your worth, like they finally woke up and saw that the person they treated like nothing is the one they can't stop thinking about? It happens the moment you cut the strings and stop being their puppet. When you quit feeding their need for validation and start focusing on your own strength, they feel the magnetic pull of your absence. This isn't about ghosting. It's about reclaiming your power and showing them what life looks like without you. They begin to realize your presence wasn't just convenient, it was a source of stability, energy, and something they can't quite name, but suddenly can't live without. Picture this. They notice you're gone, and life feels emptier. They try to fill that space with other things, but nothing works. That's when it hits them just how much you meant. Your absence becomes a mirror, reflecting all the ways they took you for granted. Like they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. By stepping back, you give them the chance to realize what they lost. It's a reminder that our true value often shines brightest when we're no longer around. So, my stoic friends, let's kick things off with today's affirmation. I am incredibly valuable. Show the world you've reclaimed your power and you're standing strong in your worth. Subscribe to me, activate the bell at the bottom right, and write me an algorithm comment. Thank you very much. Number 1. The power of unpredictability. Unpredictability is a powerful tool because it taps into one of the strongest human drives, curiosity. Imagine this. They thought they had you all figured out. You were reliable, predictable, but then you pull back, make some changes, and suddenly, you're not so easy to read anymore. That sparks their curiosity. Unpredictability breaks the monotony and makes you fascinating. They start wondering what's going on in your life, why you've changed, and what you're going to do next. When you were always available, they never had to think twice. But now, with you focused on yourself, every move you make becomes a mystery. And that mystery, it makes you irresistible. Unpredictability puts you in control because you set the tone now. Instead of you wondering what they're doing, they're the ones wondering about you. The key takeaway here, when you become unpredictable, you become interesting again. Your growth, your change, it'll captivate their thoughts, and they'll find themselves thinking about you more and more. Number 2, the fear of losing you to someone else. This reason is rooted in one of the strongest human fears, the fear of losing you to someone else. This isn't just about fear of loss, it's the realization that someone else might see the value in you that they took for granted. Imagine this, you've stepped back, grown, and now you're radiating confidence and independence. You're not the same person they used to know, and suddenly it hits them. What if someone else notices you? What if someone else wins you over and truly appreciates you? That fear triggers a deep sense of urgency in them. They start to wonder if it's too late and if they're willing to do whatever it takes to get you back in their life. Have you ever experienced someone coming back because they were afraid of losing you to someone else? Number 3. The shock of unexpected growth. Imagine pulling away from someone who took you for granted. You were like a still photo in their mind, always the same, always there. But then, something surprising happens. You start to grow. You get stronger, more confident, and maybe even a little unrecognizable. And that doesn't just surprise them, it shocks them. When you evolve, whether mentally, physically, or emotionally, and take control of your life, they can't box you in anymore. They realize they don't know you like they thought they did. You force them to see you with fresh eyes. Like the Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, the only constant in life is change. When you embrace change, you become someone who can't be ignored. Maybe you've started hitting the gym, exploring new hobbies, or making career moves that push you forward. Then, when they see you again, they're faced with a new you, stronger, brighter, and unapologetically different. It'll be a real shock to their system, and at that moment they'll realize, what did I just lose? Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Your growth is your power. Use that space to become the best version of yourself and let the world see just how incredible that version is. Number 4. the desire to be part of your new journey. It's about how people are drawn to your growth and transformation, the stronger, happier, and more fulfilled version of yourself that you've become. Imagine this. You've taken a step back and focused on your personal journey. You're no longer the person they once knew. You've embraced new challenges, discovered fresh passions, and elevated your life in ways you never thought possible. They watch from afar, intrigued by the change they see in you. All of a sudden, you've become someone exciting, someone who's on a journey that feels not just fulfilling, but almost magical. And now they have this feeling that they're missing out. They want to be a part of this new chapter in your life, not just to reconnect with you, but to share in the exciting growth you're experiencing. What does your new journey look like? What's the next chapter you're about to write? Remember, when you focus on your own development, you create a life that others will want to be a part of. And that's when they'll start seeking your company, not for who you were, but for who you've become. Number 5. Realizing what they've lost. This is the painful moment when they truly understand how much you meant to them and how little they appreciated you. You've worked on yourself and improved your life. They're still caught up in their routine and you were always there. But then one day, they notice your absence. No more calls, no more texts, no more support from you. At first, they think it's no big deal. But soon, they realize something's missing. Your absence echoes in their life. They start to value all the little things you did for them, the conversations, the laughter, the support. It's often through loss that we recognize what was truly valuable, and that's exactly what happens in relationships. The moment you step back, they realize what they had with you. Now, they want to come back, but they know they'll have to prove themselves again if they want to earn their place back in your life, because, as the saying goes, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. How do you think the people in your life will react when they realize what they've lost? Number 6. The magnetic appeal of self-sufficiency. When you pull back from a relationship or situation you were once deeply involved in and start focusing on your own growth, you naturally become more independent, more self-sufficient. You begin to validate yourself and enjoy your own company. You show the world that you don't need anyone else to feel worthy. This shift is magnetic because it sends a quiet but powerful message. You don't need anyone else to be whole. When you stop seeking validation, your independence suddenly becomes irresistible. People start asking themselves, what makes this person so special? You're no longer seen as the one who's always available. Instead, you're someone who's fully alive in their own skin, someone who's enough on their own. It's not about being intentionally distant or hard to reach, but about discovering your inner strength and independence. As Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When you nurture your self-sufficiency, you become not only strong for yourself, but also magnetic to others. The key takeaway here? By focusing on your own growth and satisfaction, you become the kind of person others can't get enough of, not because you need them to, but because they're drawn to your energy and strength. Number 7. The envy of your newfound confidence. This one is truly a game changer because it taps into a deep-rooted human emotion, envy, but not the destructive kind of envy. Instead, it's the kind of admiration-driven envy that makes others notice your new, confident energy and long for it themselves. Imagine this. You've worked on yourself, focused on your own growth, and now you're walking through life with a self-assurance that's hard to miss. You're no longer the person who constantly seeks validation. Now you're someone who knows their own worth and radiates it. This newfound confidence is not only attractive, but it's almost irresistible. If you've distanced yourself from someone who never really appreciated you and used that time to build your confidence, they suddenly start seeing you in a completely different light. They notice how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you move, and how comfortable you are in your own skin. And that confidence, it triggers a form of envy, not the negative kind, but the kind that comes with admiration. When you strengthen your self-confidence, not only does your perception of yourself change, but so does the way others see you. They start wondering why they don't have that same confidence and begin comparing themselves to you. Your transformation draws them in, but this time, they're left with a different feeling: respect and admiration. The key point here? confidence is like a magnet. When you cultivate it, you don't just attract people, you change the way they perceive you. The new, confident you becomes something they long for, something they want for themselves. Number 8. The foundation. You've stepped away from a relationship or a situation. You've left the space that you've filled with your energy for years. It feels like walking out of an old house you've lived in for a long time and closing the door behind you. But what happens if you just walk away without creating a new home for yourself? Will that really be enough? Will it be enough for you? The answer is no. Because the true key you hold in this moment isn't in the absence itself, it's in the realization that you are the foundation of your own life. The power to prioritize yourself, to respect yourself, and to know that you deserve to be treated with appreciation and respect. It's like you're not just leaving the space, you're completely redesigning it. If you just walk away without this inner shift, sure, your absence might be noticed. Maybe there's a little spark of love or affection waiting for your return, but that's just a flicker of something that was never really kindled in the first place. Because if you've been mistreated, if you were like an invisible shadow in their life, they never truly valued you. Your absence won't shake them as much as you might hope. Your absence might create a brief silence, but it won't create the waves you're wishing for. But here's the turning point. In that silence, there's an opportunity waiting to be discovered. You didn't just disappear, you've transformed. And now, the key is in understanding the reasons that will make them long for you. You need to realize what those reasons are, what the true magnet is that will draw them back in. Imagine this. You haven't just left the space, you've reinvented yourself. Now you're like a precious gem that was hidden deep within the earth. And now, as you emerge, they see your true value. Your presence won't be taken for granted anymore. You won't be the background character that's easily overlooked. You'll become a magnet, drawing their attention because you're more than they ever expected. You need to learn that you don't have to wait for others to give you direction. You get to set the course. When you start to understand the reasons that make you an irresistible force, you'll see how other people's perspectives start to shift, and suddenly you'll be the lead character in your own life, and they'll wonder, why didn't we see this before? Remember this: when you work on yourself and build your self-worth, you'll naturally radiate a value that others won't want to lose. And that's when they'll start seeking your presence more than ever before. Don't forget, this journey is yours. You're the architect of your own life. Use your absence to grow and watch as the world around you begins to shift. You can't change how others see you, but you can change how you see yourself. And that's where true power begins.